Hello everybody and welcome to another GEHWOL webinar. My name is Kelly Diaz and here with me presenting today's webinar is Hope Goldman, one of our educators. She will be talking today about dry skin, GEHWOL professional treatments and home care advice. Hope will be introducing herself in a minute, but as always we are happy to have her sharing her knowledge with us. Before we get started, I'd like to go over a few Q&A, housekeeping items with all of you. We will share a special coupon discount at the end of the webinar in the Q&A sections. We would like to you to participate in the webinar today, so please use the chat box to post any comments or questions. We will try to answer all of them at the end of the webinar. If for some reason we don't have time or we don't know the answer for the specific question, we will reach out via email. You can contact us to my email, kelly.diaz@GEHWOLFoodCare.com, to our social media at GEHWOL Food Care, or to Hope's social media at health2beautynails.com. The recommendations provided during this presentation are designed to further enhance the experience of the customers with the products. The objective of this educational and informational presentation is to make we don't make any specific representations, guarantees with respect of the way the product is to be applied. It is up to the user to accept or reject any recommendations made under her own responsibility. We don't take any responsibility, and the use of the product is if it's not used in accordance with the official labeling and instructions of the products. Okay, for the people who is new to the line, I would like to briefly introduce GEHWOL Food Care. GEHWOL stands for Everything for the Well-Being of the Feet, and it's the world's most comprehensive line of effective therapeutic food care products that treat the widest range of food conditions, including calluses, cracks, blisters, fungus, hyperhidrosis, and skin dryness. GEHWOL is an international leader in the food care industry with over 154 years. GEHWOL uses the finest ingredients, including botanical and essential oils, in order to develop its products. A little bit of history. GEHWOL was created in 1868 by the pharmacist Edward Gerlach, and the concept behind the brand was and still is to offer food care products and solutions for everybody. He notices the high incidence of food care products due to the weather and improper shoes. Believe it or not, by the time people use wooden shoes. The first preparation, which you can see in the slide, was the preservation cream. That formula was updated and it's now the GEHWOL Food Care Cream. It's still produced. The company is still owned by the same family, the Gerlach family, which allowed them to preserve the same formulation, same quality, and same vision for the company. The company has over 75 different food, nail, and body care products. 46 products are suitable for diabetic, which is important because here in the States, around 10% of the population has diabetes, so it's important to have products that are safe for everybody. GEHWOL also has protective gel pads that are listed by the FDA. GEHWOL is not animal tested and it's sold in over 50 countries around the world. GEHWOL is used in some of the most prestigious spas around the US, the Spa Gregory's, Canyon Ranch, the Nordstrom spas, one of them, are one of the spas that use our products. GEHWOL has been recognized and featured in shows, TV shows, and specialized nail and foot care magazines, and is recommended to treat some of the most common foot conditions. Okay, without further ado, I leave you with Hope. Hi, Hope.
Hi. Hey, everyone. So I'm Hope Goldman. I am a waterless pedicure specialist in So for those of you that are in the inland northwest of the universe, and I've been using GEHWOL for probably going on 6 years now. So I love the line. I incorporate it in all of my foot care services, as well as retail it to my clients so that they can get long-term results. So today we're going to focus mostly on dry skin, which if you are in a colder climate, we are definitely seeing a lot of that this time of year. So dry skin, I'm sure most of us have seen it in salon. It can range from mild to more severe. It can be caused by environmental factors like I was just talking about, as well as potentially something that may be continuing to strip away fatty oils from the skin and stripping away that skin barrier over time. And it can leave the skin just generally overprotected or underprotected, sorry. Some symptoms are scaly skin. It could potentially be itchy or tight feeling. You can more easily see the fine lines in the skin. In more severe cases, the skin can become flaky, cracked, which can become very uncomfortable and even painful because it's potentially opening up a wound to the skin. Some causes can be those environmental factors like we talked about, so potentially extensive time in the sun, very hot showers, which this time of year feel really nice, but that can really strip away the oils from our skin. Cold weather, low humidity, that is definitely the case in my area. I live in a very dry climate, so I'm seeing a lot of extra dry skin this time of year. Harsh soaps that can strip away the oils in the skin. And unfortunately, as we age, we also retain less moisture. So this can also be caused by health issues and medications. So there are a lot of factors that can be at play here when we're looking at dry skin. So getting down to a deeper level here, looking at the cellular level. So dry skin is not only a cosmetic issue, but it will also have a weaker barrier quality than normal healthy skin. So if you think of your skin cells kind of like a brick wall, you have the skin cells, which are your bricks, and then they are attached together by the mortar, so that lipid barrier. But dry skin, when there is a lack of moisture in the skin, the cells are not as densely packed. So they're literally further away from each other. And there's more possibility of, through that weakened barrier, the cells are moving away from each other and potentially opening up fissures and cracks, which can also lead to potentially harmful organisms entering the body. So if you compare that picture on the left of the dry skin with that picture on the right, we are replenishing the skin with awesome topical ingredients that will help to restore lipids, water, using potentially ingredients like urea and glycerin so that we can start to repair and normalize that skin barrier, allowing the skin to return to its primary purpose, which is one of protection. So you can see that outermost layer of the skin is sealed there, keeping everything inside and protecting it from any organism, potentially harmful organisms, from entering the body. Getting into the primary types of ingredients in moisturizers. So we have humectants, which are hydrophilic, meaning that they are attracted to water. So they help to bind moisture from the deeper levels of the dermis to the outer layers of the epidermis so that the skin can stay hydrated through all of those layers. The skin on the bottoms of our feet is about double the thickness as the rest of our body. So we want to maintain that moisture through all of those extra thick layers. These kinds of ingredients include glycerin, urea, hyaluronic acid. Then we get into emollients, and emollients fill in the gaps between dead skin cells to help replace absent natural lipids. So they start to rebuild that mortar in between the skin cells that we were just talking about that can potentially be absent in dry skin. So these kinds of ingredients include plant oils, shea butter, castor oil, fatty alcohols. And then finally, we have occlusives, and occlusives help to prevent transepidermal water loss by forming a barrier over the stratum corneum, which is that outermost layer of the skin. And occlusion in combination with humectants and emollients and these kinds of proper foot care ingredients are exceptionally helpful at restoring the barrier and healing dry skin because it's forming that seal point so that that moisture is not going to evaporate away from the skin as we saw in that picture on the left. So if there's nothing sealing in that moisture, it can start to evaporate away. So with very dry skin, that occlusive barrier is exceptionally helpful at restoring the barrier quality of the skin. So as Kelly mentioned, GEHWOL has over 75 products, which can be a lot of products and can be hard to know where to start. So we're going to break it down a little bit by each line to make it a little bit more digestible. So we start with GEHWOL Soft Feet. This is the Feel Good Spa series, and these products lend itself more to that spa-like experience. So they have some various scents and velvety, silky textures to really give that really extra indulgent feel-good experience. I really like using the Soft Feet Scrub as part of my spa pedicure to give that little bit of luxury in it. And these products have a variety of different extracts such as aloe vera, milk and honey, water lily, and they just have some real, it's like these are the little bit more luxury feel-good products. Then we get into the Fusskraft line, and you can think of this line as the Foot Vigor series. So a lot of the products in this line have invigorating essential oils. So many have pine, rosemary, or lavender, potentially a combination of all three. They smell amazing. A lot of my clients like to use these products before bed because of that really nice lavender calming scent. And they help with a variety of foot challenges such as refreshing and deodorizing, helping to support circulation with those essential oils, and promoting healing. You can also break this line specifically down by the colors. So we have red for warming. So the red cream specifically has paprika and ginger. So it's going to help to stimulate those warming receptors of the skin. We have green for refreshing and deodorizing, and blue for care and moisture. Then we have the Med line, and this is a particularly effective product series, which offers a medical care concept for normal to dry and sensitive skin. So these are really the powerhouse products for serving solutions to specific foot issues. So things like cracked heels, excessive callus, very, very dry skin. These are going to be some of your powerhouse products to really address those specific issues with your clients. The Lipidro cream, which is almost in the center there, is definitely my #1 top seller in my salon. Again, because I live in a really dry climate. So that one's like powerhouse moisture that I get most of my clients on from the get-go. And finally, we have the GEHWOL Balance line, and this is the newest line to the brand, and this has a probiotic concept. So these products are really great at literally balancing the natural flora of the skin, and I find the Balance foot cream specifically really great for peely skin because it's going to normalize those organisms that are on top of the skin. These products also come with a pump. So if you have a client who likes a pump experience in their packaging, this is a really nice one to get folks on as well. So with all those products, like where do we start with dry skin solutions? So we'll go through some of the creams that are particularly helpful for dry skin. So we have the Hydrolipid lotion. I have a sample of that guy here. This one is really lovely. It has a lighter texture and it's unscented, though it is part of the Fusskraft line. And so it's unscented for people that may prefer that. And it has that lighter texture. It has ingredients like urea, glycerin, and ceramides. I find this one particularly great for older clients that may have thin, dry skin, or people that are just have a little bit extra sensitive skin, this is a really lovely one for them. Then we have the blue. This is the really cute little limited edition tub of blue. And this one is also part of the Fusscraft line. And this one has the pine, rosemary, and lavender essential oils. It smells amazing. And because of those essential oils, it offers some circulatory benefits. So it feels really nice on the skin. It also has urea. It's a little bit of a thicker texture. And this is definitely one of my top sellers in my suite. So I sell a ton of this. I had a client one time that ran out of it, and she came back and she said that she needed to buy 3 tubes of it so she never ran out, because it was part of her nighttime routine, because that scent kind of triggered that it was time to go to sleep for her. Then we have the Soft Feet cream. That one is part of the Soft Feet line. This one has a bit of a silky texture. It's really lovely. It also has the urea, avocado oil, and hyaluron. I like to use this one in my Soft Feet spa pedicure a lot as well, because it has that really nice silky texture. It all has the milk and honey in it, which gives a little bit of a subtle scent. Then we have the Soft Feet lotion, which is also part of that Soft Feet line. This one has an even lighter texture than the Soft Feet cream, and this one has water lily in it, so it has a little bit of a floral scent, really nice. Then we have the Soft Feet scrub, which we talked about, that I like to use in my spa pedicure as well. So this one has jojoba ester beads, excuse me, sugar crystals, as well as bamboo particles as the gentle exfoliating pieces of the scrub. And as you polish the skin with it, the jojoba and the sugar crystals will start to dissolve over time. So you're also getting a moisturizing benefit and that gentle exfoliation at the same time. Excuse me. And that one, all of these products on this list are diabetic safe as well. Then we have the Lipidro cream, which is part of the Med line. So as I mentioned, this one is most definitely, in my climate, my top seller. This one has 10% urea in it. I believe in this list, the creams that have urea, it's anywhere from 2 to 10%. So this one is the highest at 10%. So it really is going to start to bind a lot of moisture to the skin cells. It also has avocado oil, so it has a little bit more of a nice creamy texture. And it's also unscented, and it has glycerin and allantoin in it as well. And the allantoin specifically is really helpful at promoting healing. So love, love, love that one. I actually use this on my hands in the wintertime too, because my hands get a little extra dry. So love, love, love that one. Then we have the Express Foam, which is also part of that Meds line, so that medical care concept. This is a foam-based product, which I find really nice for folks. All of the GEHWOL creams, they really penetrate in, minutes, 5 minutes or less. You really don't need a lot. A little goes a long way. But for the clients who are like, I really can't hang with any sort of lotion feel, I really like the Med Express Foam from them, because it just penetrates immediately and doesn't leave any sort of residue behind. This one, again, it has some urea, it has primrose oil, more plant extract, and avocado oil. So it's a very hydrating foot foam. And then finally for hands, we have the hand cream, which is excellent. And this one also has urea in it, as well as jojoba, some panthenol, which is going to help with healing. There's a bolol, which is a chamomile derived ingredient. And it also has tapioca starch in it, which is really nice to give a dry, silky texture at the end that is not tacky. So your hands will be left really nice and hydrated, but you'll be able to touch stuff immediately as well. Then getting into calluses. So calluses are formed from an accumulation of dead skin cells that harden and thicken over an area of the foot. They are typically caused by excessive pressure and friction, which can be caused by a specific pair of shoes, the way that we walk, both in shoes and outside of shoes, depending on the arch of our feet. It can also be caused by loss of fat pad over time. And some really great callus solutions that GEHWOL has are the herbal bath. So if you do offer water pedicures, the herbal bath is excellent. It will dissolve immediately in the water. It has those pine, rosemary essential oils in it, so it smells amazing. It has 80% softening ingredients in it. So after soaking for about 10 minutes or so, it's not recommended to go more than 10 to 15 minutes soaking in this product. You can just go immediately into your callus exfoliation. So you don't need to apply an additional callus softener, because because there's so much softening agents in the herbal bath. There is also the callus cream, and this one has 18% urea. So at that percentage, urea starts to become a keratolytic, so it breaks down that hardened keratin over time. So this is an excellent retail product for people that have excessive buildup of callus on their feet. You want to use it only on the areas that are callus because it will help to dissolve that dead skin over time. And I would say start using it like the packaging says for about every day for 28 days, see where that gets you, and then you can assess if you need to continue using it or move on to a different product just to maintain your results. You also want to tell your clients to definitely wash their hands after they use it so that their finger pads don't start to peel over time as well. Again, the Lipidro for hard skin is excellent. Once I get my clients on callus cream or we reduce those calluses over time, I will get them on Lipidro just to maintain the softness of the feet long term. There's also, I didn't grab my pedicure file, but my wooden pedicure file, which is the one that you see in this photo. This one's a retail item. So you can sell this to your clients so that they can gently exfoliate their feet at home. I suggest 30 seconds to 60 seconds per foot. You don't need a lot. Once a week on any thicker areas of the feet. There are two sides to this, so it has a rougher side and a finer side. I suggest starting with that rougher side and then smoothing with the finer side. I always tell clients to do this on dry skin as well so that you can smooth and exfoliate and smooth at the same time, and then always follow up with your foot cream. For pros, there's also the sterilizable inox file. So it's also Swiss made by the same company that the wooden pedicure file is made. And that one has a stainless steel file that can be sterilized, disinfected, and it has one-use sandpaper pads that you can use in service. And then for pros as well, we have several different callus softening products. So there's the callus foam, the softener jelly, and then the callus softener. Those all have various different ingredients. I tend to use the callus foam the most in my service because it does not need to be rinsed off. And since I do waterless pedicures, that's a really great way for me to go. You also don't need a lot of it because it does foam up and kind of expand. The jelly is nice because it stays exactly in place wherever you put it. So it's not going to run all over the foot. So that might be a nice one to try. And then the callus softener, it does come in a spray. So you kind of spray it all over the foot. The callus softener spray as well as the softener jelly both do need to be rinsed or neutralized after using it. I'm just going to check out the chat here. Can the Med Express foam be slugged, used in conjunction with other products like a lotion or cream, or is that overkill? Kelly's saying that they wouldn't recommend that. I will say I've never done it with the foam, but sometimes for certain clients, or if they just need a little extra moisture boost, I'll tell them to put their Lipidro on and then to follow up with the salve for cracked skin to really just get a really nice extra moisture boost. And we'll talk about the salve, I think, in the next slide here. But I actually do that on my hands in the wintertime because my knuckles get really dry. Just sold the pedicure file and Lipidro to a client this morning. Love these products. Awesome, Shannon. Do you maintain a listing of salons that use and carry your products? Yes, I'm sure Kelly will drop the link in the chat there, but there is a salon finder on the website. So getting into cracked feet. So as we were talking about dry skin, the cells are literally further apart. So as they get further apart, the fissures can start to form from that. So when the skin becomes thick or dry, it loses that suppleness and elasticity, which can lead to cracked skin, which can be very painful. And again, is going to potentially allow organisms to enter the body. So causes: walking around barefoot or in sandals in the summertime, that exposing the skin to the environment can certainly lead to that. Loss of skin lipids, standing on hard flooring, increased body weight, improperly sized shoes, and other conditions such as dry skin leading to those fissures. Circulatory issues, fungal infections can also lead to rough, cracked skin as well. So for cracked skin, the salve for cracked skin is excellent. So it is an occlusive product like we were talking about earlier, but it also includes some Panthenol, which is exceptionally helpful for healing the skin. It also includes some essential oils. So it has other really great foot healthy ingredients to help to restore that lipid barrier and to prevent any moisture from evaporating from the skin. You can also use, again, for retail, the wooden pedicure file, which is really excellent to start exfoliating some of that thick, dry skin away. And then, of course, you would want to replenish with your moisture and or the salve. And, of course, in service, you can use the inox color file as well for exfoliation. And then some professional only products. So here are some of the callus softeners that we talked about. The callus softener, this one is the one on the left is the one that is a spray. So it's more of a liquidy texture. It is alkaline. So you certainly want to either rinse it off or neutralize it after you use it. And then the callus softener with 25% urea. This one is the foam, and this one has urea as well as lactic acid. This is the one that I tend to use the most, or not tend to use. This is the one of the 3 callus softeners that I use the most because it can stay on the foot. It does not require to rinse it off. And there is a video that we'll show you here in a moment. So it has a little bit of a pump and you don't need a lot. A little goes a long way with this product. Both of these are have best results when you leave them on to soak for a couple minutes before you go in to exfoliate. Then we have the disinfectant lotion. All of the products, well, not all of them, but most of the products that I've talked about to this point have pro sizes as well as retail sizes available. So the disinfectant lotion is how I start every single service. You can think of this as your sanitizing spray. So I use this all over the feet as well as hands before manicures. And this one does have alcohol in it, but it also has glycerin. So it's not drying. It's going to offer some moisture as well. And you want to be liberal as you're spraying this all over, especially making sure that you're getting it in between the toes as well. It also has some menthol and lavender oil. So a lot of my clients remark that it feels really nice as well. Then we have the emulsion. So you can see that big guy with the pump, that is the pro size. And then you see the refill size there as well. This one is really excellent for massage. If you do extended massage, it offers a little bit of a slip longer. And it has some clemizole in it, which is going to be a really nice preventative for fungus. It has essential oils. It smells amazing. It feels amazing. It's a really nice one to add into your services. And then we have a slide of a potential protocol where you can incorporate these products into your service. And I'm going to show you one of my protocols of the way that I incorporated these products into my services, specifically for dry feet. I'm looking at the Q&A box. Will you provide a base service price for providing each of the pedicures? I'm sure Kelly could potentially send that to you later. And there is a catalog that we have. So if you have the catalog in the back, there are some breakdowns of pricing with protocols. And will we receive a replay of this webinar? Yes, you will. Awesome. So that is the end of the slideshow presentation. So I'm trying to keep up with these questions here, and it looks like we are good to go for the time being. So I'm going to pop on over and start to show you how I like to incorporate these products that we just talked about into my service. So I don't have,
if I may add about the prices, they can actually download the catalog right now. It is in files. So and at the end, on top of each treatment, you'll see the cost for the cost of all the products used during that treatment. So that'll give them at least a guide about the products that they are going to use and the cost for them.
Perfect. Yeah. So check out the files tab and you can download the catalog, and that will help to have some of those pricing breakdowns. Okay. So getting into some of these videos here. So I don't have a video of it, but as we talked about, the disinfecting lotion spray is always my first step in service. So I spray this liberally all over the feet, making sure that I get it in between the toes as well. And then I will kind of just like blot it down with my towel to remove any extra. I also like to go in between the toes and make sure that I'm drying in between the toes as well after spraying this liberally. So then after all my toenail work, this is where I use the callus foam. So I've done all of my toenail work. I've exfoliated here, and this is the dispenser that it's in. I like to give it a little bit of a shake, and then you can see that it just comes out. And that's all I'm using for the 1 foot. And I'm just gonna get this all over the nails and use this like a cuticle softener, just to help me clean out those sidewalls. Sometimes this client gets some extra dead impacted skin in those areas. So I'm gonna let it sit for a few minutes so that works well. And then I go in and I'm starting with my double-ended R tool. This is from GEHWOL. It is a stainless steel tool. And that softener, you can see, I find this very satisfying to watch, but you can see that it really helps to gently remove any of that leftover, excessive, dead, impacted skin, extra sock fuzz, anything that I may have missed with my toenail work prior to this. And I'm being really gentle as I do this. I'm not digging down into that sidewall crevice. I'm really just thinking about encouraging that dead skin that has been softened to release from that area. I'm also getting it a little bit under the corner of each nail to clean out under the corner as well. And if I miss anything, I'm just going to take my nipper and gently kind of nip it to make sure that everything is nice and smooth as I'm going along here. And I also will go in with my sidewall file, which is also from GEHWOL, to make sure that everything is smooth if I feel anything catching with my double-ended R tool there. So this is a very important step to make sure that your corners, there's nothing left behind from your toenail work that's going to cause an issue as the nail grows out. You want everything to be really nice and smooth. And again, that foam just really helps to soften everything and make this process really easy, as well as more comfortable for the client. Sometimes when the skin is dry, it can be a little more uncomfortable for the client. And then I just gave it a spritz with the disinfecting lotion there. And you can see how nice and clean the toenails look after using that softener foam. All nice and pretty and shiny. Can we sell the retail products on the spa website? Yes, if there are retail sizes of the products, you can certainly create an account to sell them to your clients as well. What is it called again? I believe you're talking about the foam product. So that's the callus softener foam that I was using there. Okay, perfect. So after I've done all my toenail work is where I move into my exfoliation. So I like to do all my exfoliation dry. So I'm starting here with a callus mandrel and a sand cap. So I am the exclusive distributor of Gerlach Technic bits here in the States, and Gerlach Technic is the technical side of GEHWOL. So they do create and sell bits as well. And so here is the callus mandrel plus their blue sand cap. And I'm using this in an 80 grit here. Their sand caps are amazing quality. They're my favorite ones that I've ever used, truly. And they are made from corundum, which is the highest quality material that you can make sandpaper from. So they hold up really well. They're also very gentle for the client. And I use this all over the foot, wherever it's a little bit thicker. So I like to go around that heel. You'll see that I am trying to use as much of the bit as possible. So I'm mostly using the side of that cylinder to get full surface contact with the skin. And I like to go mostly with the grain of the skin because that's how you're going to get the smoothest finish. And I'm doing this to the point where it looks a little bit less powdery in the skin prints. So I still want to see the skin prints, but I want to see a little bit less powderiness in between. Do they create when using this e-file bit? So they can, which is why you want to continuously move it to different areas of the foot. If this kind of bit is new to you, and if this is just a general rule of thumb with e-files in general, but you want to continue to move this bit to different areas of the foot, because if you leave it in one place for too long, yes, that it will create a friction burn. So I find specifically too with these particular caps, there is much less heat creation from it as well. So I never have an issue with these blue ones specifically because they are excellent, such high quality. So Is this handpiece cordless? This one in particular is not. This one is more of a podiatry style e-file, which I use in my suite because it has that vacuum attachment, which is really important if you're focusing on pedicures because you don't want to breathe in that extra dust. Cool, so that's my first step of callus exfoliation. Then my second step is going in with my second callus bit, which is a diamond bit. And this one is medium grit. And you can see it's the same shape as the sand cap that I just used. And I'm using it wherever I just exfoliated with my sand cap to make sure that everything is nice and smooth. You could, instead of using the sand cap plus this bit, you could potentially use the callus foam or a callus softener product, the jelly or the callus softener spray. Allow that to sit and then just use the diamond bit for your callus exfoliation as well. So there are multiple different ways that you could use these products in service. Again, like I said, I like to do everything dry personally because it allows me to more accurately assess how much I'm exfoliating, but could totally do it that way as well. What size e-file will those bits fit? So these bits are 3 by 32, so they are a little bit longer of a shank, but I use them in this e-file as well as my portable cordless Coupa Mani Passport Pro with no issues at all. So I find that they're fine in really any e-file. Then after I finish my exfoliation, I'm going to go in and spray with GEHWOL's Fusscraft Herbal Lotion, which has those essential oils in it, so it smells amazing. And it's going to give some immediate light hydration to the foot and remove any dust that may be left behind from that exfoliation. So the e-file, feel free to shoot me an email, Corin, if you would like to talk about that. The e-file specifically is not being sold by GEHWOL at this time, but you can buy the bits from me if you like. We have clients that have callus buildup on the side of the big toenail bed, the skin part directly on the side of the big toenail. How to reduce that, as it's hard to file without filing the toenail bed. Erica, I'm not sure if I'm following your question. Do you mean just on the other side of the sidewall, like right here, or more on the side of the toe? I would say if it's on the side of the toe, kind of like that pinch callus. Let me see if I can bring up that video I was just looking at. Let's look at the sand cap. And let's see. If it's kind of on the side of the toe, I would use a bit to exfoliate that just gently. If it's on the sidewall on the side of the nail bed, I would use just like if you're using an e-file, you could use a small diamond bit for that. Obviously, it's a more tight area, so I would say using a smaller bit, if I'm following your question, would probably be your best way to go because it's a little bit of a tighter area. Let me know if that answered your question. So after doing the bulk of my callus exfoliation, this is my spa pedicure. So this is where we get a little more luxurious, and I'm going to use a combination of the soft feet cream with the soft feet the soft feet scrub. So these are the two products from the soft feet line that we talked about. So it's going to give a little bit of that extra indulgent luxury experience. And I mix it together in a 1-to-1 ratio in my hands, and I start polishing the foot. And notice the texture and the viscosity here. You can see through the products to the skin, but as that jojoba ester and the sugar crystals start to dissolve, the texture is going to become thicker and more mask-like. So it's really, really lovely. The clients love this part of the pedicure. And you want to be really gentle as you're doing this. So we've already done the bulk of our exfoliation. So this is going to give just a final polishing of the skin. So yes, I am doing this in a way that's going to feel good to the client, where I'm doing a little bit of an additional massage, but you don't want to think of like really abrasively using those particles. We're just polishing the skin with it. And it's really nice too, because these extra particles in the scrub are going to help to exfoliate dry skin cells from the softer areas of the feet as well that we might have not focused on during most of our callus exfoliation. So as you are polishing this into the skin and those particles are dissolving, you can see that the texture is getting a little bit thicker. And also as I'm doing this, I can feel it as well. So as I'm doing this, once the viscosity and thickness of the texture gets to feel a little more stiff because those particles has dissolved, that's when I know it's time to stop and move on to the other foot. Okay, perfect. I'm glad that was that answered your question, Erica. So like I said, this is part of the luxury experience. I'm doing all the really good extra massage here so it feels really nice to the client. And you can see that the texture is really starting to thicken up. So it's getting a little bit more white as those particles start to dissolve and combine with the soft feet cream. And I can feel in my hands like it's getting a little bit stiffer as well. I always have nice, gentle music playing as we're doing this part. And we're just, what did you mix the exfoliator with? So this is a 1-to-1 ratio of the soft feet scrub. And I mixed it for this client with the soft feet cream. I like to tailor this to my client. So sometimes I'll use the soft feet cream. In the summertime, I like to combine the scrub with the mint cream, which is part of the Fusscraft line, and it has menthol in it, so it's a bit cooling. It lives up to its name. It's very refreshing, so that's a really nice one to use in the summertime. So you can really customize this to your client. For this one in particular, I mixed it with the soft feet scrub with the soft feet cream. Then at this point, I'm going to use my hot towel to wrap the foot, which of course feels amazing to the client. You can soak your towels with in a combination of water and the GEHWOL's herbal bath that we talked about. That one's a part of the Fusscraft line. And if you do water pedicures, you can dissolve that into the water. I really like to dissolve that into the water of my steamed towels because it smells amazing and it's going to offer a little bit more of that, those softening ingredients to the feet as well. And I give a little bit of pressure once the towel is on the foot, which feels really nice to the client, but for me is going to help to release any of those final particles away from the skin to make removal of that mask a little bit easier for myself. Many salons use a foot grater for non-diabetic clients to save time. Do you suggest that to remove superficial hard callus, then go in with an e-file bit? I would never encourage using a foot grater, like a cheese grater type of file on the skin. It is way too aggressive and it's going to leave potentially sores behind and remove too much in one go. We always want to be gentle when we're exfoliating, whether the client is diabetic or not, because we're looking for results over time. And if we take off too much in one go, that can A, make the client a little bit sore because too much skin has been taken off, and B, potentially trigger the client's defense mechanism where the body says, oh no, what happened to my protective armor? Because too much of that protective mechanism of the callus is gone and it will grow back faster and thicker to protect itself. So it's going to be counterproductive to the results that we're seeking. So whenever we're thinking about callus exfoliation, we're thinking of reducing, not removing. And I like to reduce no more than about 30% of callus on clients personally. Any idea when the pro size of the soft feet scrub will be back in stock? Oh, it looks like Kelly just answered that. Yes, in my state, those files are actually illegal to use in salons. Many use them anyways. Yes, we don't want to be using things that are not only illegal, but also unsafe to use on our clients. So I like to use a sandpaper-based cap to start my exfoliation on dry skin because it's going to exfoliate and smooth at the same time. Like I said, you could also use a diamond bit and the callus softener foam from GEHWOL for that as well. You could also use, if you'd like to use a manual file, the GEHWOL Enox sterilizable file, which the file itself is reusable, but it has one use sandpaper sticky pads that you can use for each client. Great questions, y'all. Thanks for engaging in the conversation. So then we've done all our luxury step with the scrub and our cream and mask. And the final step is always going to be some final hydration and oil. So I love using the Med Protective Skin and Nail Oil in service. This one has antifungal properties, which is really nice to use on the feet as a preventative. So I'm doing that all over the foot. This is also an excellent retail product. As you can see, I'm using the luxurious salon amount on the foot in this video, but if you're retailing this to clients, you really only need like 1 drop on the big toe, and then you can spread the love around to the rest of the toes. For this client, I am using that Lipidro cream because she is a little bit more on the dry and hard side with her skin. So I'm using the Med Lipidro cream, which, like I said, is powerhouse moisture. And I'm going in, and this is the final step with the massage. If you do more extended massage, you could use the emulsion here that we talked about, which offers that slip longer, the GEHWOL emulsion. Or you could even mix that with a cream as well. I don't tend to do very extended massage in any of my services, so I find that I just like to use a cream, and that works just fine for me in my service. And while we watch this very relaxing massage, I wanted to talk about too, we talked about how there are pro sizes as well as retail sizes of these products. And I want to talk about the importance of educating the client on what you're seeing in their feet so that you can suggest a customized foot care routine so that they can really continue the results at home. We are looking to be results driven in our services, and GEHWOL really helps us get our client to a place where we can restore and also maintain the health of their feet. So during callus exfoliation, the way that I like to start this conversation is I just ask my first-time clients, the first time someone sits in my chair, I lift their legs up for callus exfoliation. I just ask them, how do you take care of your feet at home? A lot of the times it's, oh, I don't, or I don't do much. Great. So what does that mean? Do you use a body lotion at home? Yeah, sometimes I'll get a body lotion on my feet. Great. So I also have all of my retail shelves totally visible with all the products right in front of the client during the service so that they can see them during service. And I let them know, as you see in front of you, I carry a German line of foot care called GEHWOL. They've been around since 1868, and I'm also an educator for the brand. And I love their products because they're very therapeutic and extremely effective. So they're getting an idea in their mind of why I'm using the products that I do and that I stand behind what I use. One of the great things that GEHWOL also does in every order is that they send a bunch of samples that just like this. And these are an excellent tool that you can use in your services. So I let my new client know after I've told them a little bit about GEHWOL, I'm going to send you home with a little new client goodie bag with a few samples of their products so you can try them at home and see what you think. Then when they return for their next service, I check in with them. How did you like those samples that I sent you home with? Were there any that really stood out to you? And usually like they say that they loved them all and they'll just take whatever they think I would recommend for them. And I always tailor whatever samples I'm giving to my client specifically. So if they have exceptionally dry skin, maybe I'll give them a sample of the Lipidro and the salve. If they don't have as dry of a skin, or maybe they're older and they have that thin, kind of sensitive, a little bit red skin that we talked about, I'll give them the hydrolipid in there. So you can really start to tailor what you are giving to your clients. GEHWOL is excellent because it's not a one-size-fits-all approach. So you can really individualize your solution to your client's needs. I won a bottle of the Med oil a few years ago through Nails Magazine, and I love it. Wow, good for you. You got some good juju, especially clients who are prone to foot fungus. Yeah, it's an excellent one. The Protective Nail and Skin Oil has really excellent, high quality, active antifungal ingredients in there as well. Just trying to catch up on some of these questions. That's the end of all my videos. So if I missed a question, I'm going to try to go back. And if I missed it, you can also just like throw it in the chat one more time so I can make sure that I am getting to everyone. The diamond and sandpaper bits should satisfy these clients. Did not those were an option? Yeah, they are excellent. They are available through me. They're actually linked in my Instagram bio. I don't know that we have a link right now. Maybe I can pop that link in the chat for you if you're interested in those bits. Do you offer luxury exfoliation part after the finish, after doing gel on the toes? Yes. So this client is a gel client. So I did all my toenail work of exfoliating dead skin, etc. And then I did applied gel polish, and then I went into the callus exfoliation and the scrub after that. I want to make sure that the nail plate is totally clean for the gel polish application. So I did all of that first before going in with the scrub and moisturizer. Perfect. We were pondering on possibly turning away clients with toenail fungus. Is it safer for our staff to serve as those clients? We are a high-end spa and disinfect religiously. Some staff was wondering if it is a problem since the COVID scare. Many clients don't know that they have it. This is true. Many clients don't know that they have it. I would encourage you to check in with your state's laws on that about what kinds of clients you can serve. If you would like to have more of an in-depth conversation about that, you can feel free to email me or DM me on Instagram directly. Potentially, if you choose not to service those clients, or if you choose to serve those clients, I would send them home with the protective nail and skin oil to help prevent and potentially improve that long term. Perfect. So my Instagram, for those of you that are asking, is Health to Beauty Nails. You can find me on all social media channels as far as that goes. If you have any final questions, definitely pop them in the chat. Otherwise, that's all the information that I have for you at this time. I'm going to find the website for my bits as well. I currently sell them in a kit. So I have a very specific curated bit kit called the Essential Pedicure Bit Kit. Some of the folks in this chat definitely already have it at home and are loving the bits. It's the kit that I use literally in 9.9 out of 10 of my services. I love it. I will be, though, very soon selling these bits individually as well. So if you're not interested in purchasing the whole kit, just stay tuned. You'll have access to these bits individually as well very soon. Can you provide your email? Yes, I can. I believe this information will also be in the slideshow, which you can download, and I believe will also maybe be emailed to you. I'm not sure. Maybe Kelly has an answer for that. Thanks, Robin, for the affirmation on my videos. I appreciate that. They are entertaining and informative. I always find that's a nice way to get information across and make it a little more digestible. How we doing out there, folks? Any final questions before we wrap it up? Kelly, do you have any final info or reiterations to share? So here are some of the bits from the catalog. I will be bringing in some more, and they're very lovely. They're all German stainless steel, made of the highest quality, I almost said ingredients, materials. And like I said, you can find 6 of these bits in my curated Essential Pedicure Bit Kit. And I will have individuals available soon as well. Yay, I'm glad that you loved the bits, Amanda. Awesome. Will you ship bits to Canada, or will they be for sale at the Oregon Nail Show? They will be for sale at the Oregon Nail Show. Unfortunately, at this time, I can't ship internationally, but if you're going to be at the one show, yes, come see me. I will happily sell you all the bits, and I would love to meet you in person. So if you're going to be at a show, come see us. We are going to be at the Oregon Nail Expo this year, as well as Premier Orlando, Nail Tech event of the Smokies, and Premier San Antonio. So we would love to see you at one of these shows. We have classes that are going to be happening at these shows as well.
And in Canada, you can find GEHWOL through the distributor Continental Cosmetics. I can, if you provide me your email, I can send you their information. I'm sure, I don't know if they have all the bits, but that's the distributor for Canada.
Great.
Elizabeth is asking how to open an account. You can please send us your professional, let's see, the copy of your professional license or business license to this email on the screen, and we will open an account for you and send you all the login information, the price list, the catalog, and all the information related on how to place orders.
Perfect. Heather's asking if I dispose the sand bits after each use. Yes, so the sand caps themselves are one use. You just put them on top of the mandrel to use it on a client. And then after you use it, that goes in the garbage, and the mandrel itself goes into your disinfectant, and it can also be sterilized as well. Thanks, y'all. Great questions. Appreciate you being so active and engaged in the chat. Appreciate you being here. And anything else, Kelly? That's all on my end.
I was typing in the name of the distributor in Canada. No, you can send us all your questions to my email that it was in one of the first slides. Let me try to find it again. But it's kelly.diaz@GEHWOL.com. And again, please follow us on Instagram, on Facebook, or all social platforms, and to Hope on her. She typed it, right? You typed it all your social media information in there?
Yes, I did.
I'm sorry, I'm going back all this, but I just want you to see all the information. There we go.
There it is.
Yes. My email for all your questions, the social media, and Hope's social media. That's it.
That's it. Thanks, everyone. Appreciate you being here.
Thank you, Hope.
See you out there.
Oh, bye, everybody.